Regardless of the comics universe you're in, you're going to find a person that has gotta go fast and get the job done. For the Marvel Comics universe, the main speedster that stands out is Quicksilver. The son of the mutant leader Magneto, sometimes long story, he's been prevalent in not just the comics and animated series, but his live-action appearances as well. But despite him only appearing in 4 movies combined, he's made a big impact. So today we're going to show you the top 10 most epic Quicksilver scenes. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 10. Facing Dark Phoenix. We'll be honest here, Dark Phoenix was easily not the greatest X-Men movie ever, despite this being their second time trying to get the story right in the films. Another one of the many problems with the film was that they heavily sidelined Quicksilver for reasons unknown to science and logic. But one of the cool scenes we did get to see was that of him versus Jean early on in the story. Why does this scene stand out? Well, to be honest, one of the reasons that Quicksilver seemed so amazing in Days of Future Past and Apocalypse was that he was basically unstoppable. But Jean, not unlike a certain Man of Steel when dealing with his own speedster, showed that this wasn't true at all. While going in at her full power, she was able to deal with him in her own way, even breaking his leg in the process, which of course sidelined him throughout the film. But this was a good moment because it showed that he really wasn't invincible, and that he had limits, as well as showing just how strong Jean Grey was in her full Phoenix form. Number 9. Quicksilver vs. Avengers in Claw's ship. Moving now to the MCU, there's little doubt that of the 2 movie versions of Quicksilver that this one was honestly the worst. I mean, how does he get killed from bullets that are not fired at super speeds, right? But that being said, though he was only featured in Age of Ultron, the Silver Speedster had some really amazing moments. One of the better ones was when the Avengers first faced off with Ultron's drones on Claw's ship, and when things went their way, Quicksilver sprung into action and took out Cap in record time and even tripped up Thor. The only thing that was his undoing was not understanding how Mjolnir worked. But even then he recovered, saved his sister, and eventually found Hulk so that he could have him, via Wanda's powers, wreak havoc on the nearby areas. So, while not a total victory for him, it was one that definitely counts in the win column as they escaped, got in the Avengers' heads, and lived to fight another day. Number 8. Meeting Quicksilver.
You guys won. I didn't do anything. I've been here all day.
As we noted, the MCU version of Quicksilver wasn't exactly the best. Not least because of his heavy accent, the fact that he didn't talk much and thus didn't act like Quicksilver at times, of course outside of his "you didn't see that coming" lines. When we officially met Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, he was exactly what you thought about when you pictured Pietro. Quick-tongued, abusing his speed, and always quick with the one-liners. They said that you'll never get a second chance at a first impression, and this was the perfect example of that. Because many fans needed to be convinced that this Quicksilver would be the one to really embody the one from the comics, and that's exactly what we got. The only regret was that though he had some epic scenes later on, we'll get to them, we promise, was that after the job was done, he was gone. But hey, we got to see peak Pietro for a movie or 2, so that's good enough for us. Number 7. The Train Rescue. Ironically, both the MCU version and the X-Men movie universe version of Quicksilver had some very impressive rescue scenes in just about every movie they were in. For the MCU version, he arguably had the least visually impressive scene of the bunch, but it's still worth noting for its own reasons. After Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver decided to go and help the Avengers instead of helping Ultron, after learning of his plan to destroy the human race and rebuild it, one of their first real clashes was on the train in South Korea. Ultron derails the train, leaving everyone in its path in danger, to which Captain America entrusts Scarlet Witch with stopping the train, and Pietro with getting all of the passengers out of the way so that they can focus on getting Ultron. This was one of his pure speed feats in the movie, and it was one that stood out because it was somewhat reminiscent of another Marvel movie, Spider-Man 2, where Peter Parker had to stop a train from killing everyone. Again, it wasn't the most visually impressive of the rescue scenes, as you'll see soon, but it was still a hallmark moment of the speedster and proof he really did have what it took to be a hero. Number 6. The prison break. One of the most important moments in X-Men Days of Future Past was finding out about the current fate of Magneto. Mainly, he was arrested for the assassination of President Kennedy, whom he revealed to be a mutant he was actually trying to save, and that they needed him to save Mystique from going down a darker path. But they needed Quicksilver to do just that, and he did it in style from start to finish. From sneaking into the elevator, to duct taping the guard in seconds flat, to vibrating the glass to break out Magneto, to their awkward, "My mom dated a guy who could move metal" scene, and more. It was a very fun prison break from start to finish, and Quicksilver honestly was the reason for it. Plus, Quicksilver's reaction when he hears that Magneto killed the president? Classic. Number 5. Quicksilver vs. Apocalypse. A lot of people feel that X-Men Apocalypse wasn't that great of a movie. We feel differently, and yet again, Quicksilver was a big reason for that. He yet again shined in a film that had a lot going on if you needed to know where to look and what to understand. But one of the biggest things was that Apocalypse was easily one of the most powerful villains they had ever faced. Yet, when Quicksilver squared off with him, yeah, even the first mutant couldn't keep up with Quicksilver's blazing speed. In all honesty, this was the scene that very much resembled a certain other speedster in his battles, the Flash. Not to say that Quicksilver didn't make it his own, and it took some equally fast thinking from Apocalypse to trip up Quicksilver and break his leg so that he couldn't keep going around him. But still, even in the face of failure, Quicksilver held his own against arguably a mutant god that even Magneto and Charles know to fear. So to go in with such bravado and do so well for so long, that sounds pretty epic to us. Number 4. Saving Hawkeye. Whether you liked or hated Age of Ultron, one of the funniest rivalries of the movie was that of Quicksilver and Hawkeye. The two had it out for one another from the moment that Quicksilver caught Clint's arrow, and it only escalated from there. Even when they were on the same side, Pietro and Clint couldn't help but rib each other constantly, and it was great. But when Sokovia was being destroyed around them and Clint risked his life to save a young boy, Quicksilver knew he had to save them both. And he did, but at the cost of his own life. It was a shocking moment, mainly because he should have been able to avoid the bullets. But in a testament to storytelling, he ended his rivalry with Hawkeye the same way it started. You didn't see that coming? Number 3. The Space Rescue. Full warning, the rest of these are all about the X-Men universe Quicksilver, starting with Dark Phoenix, where we have the Space Shuttle rescue. It was at this point that the X-Men writers were probably running out of ideas on how to show off Quicksilver's impressive speed again, so they said, let's have him do something in space. Which they did, and considering all the work he did in such little time and under threat from a solar flare and in space, it was actually rather impressive. Number 2. The X-Mansion Evacuation. This one almost was number 1, if for no other reason than he jammed out to a Cher song, in his head at least, while saving over 40 people from the X-Men when it was blown up by Alex Summers on accident. While the number 1 scene was more about elegance and showing the beauty of Quicksilver's powers, this one was much more about having fun and thinking of all the different ways he could save lives, all while doing it in style like only Quicksilver can. Number 1. The Kitchen.
Save every day till eternity passes away.
The question of how to show super speed in live action is one that is debated a lot. Sometimes a less is more approach works perfectly fine, like Yo-Yo from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or The Flash in his TV series at points. But when it came to Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, they had to go big, and they did it with the kitchen scene. With guards upon them, bullets firing, and Magneto about to kill everyone, Quicksilver goes into his own Speed Force to save everyone with taking a life, all while set to time in a bottle. Beautiful. Just watch for yourself.
Forever, if words could make wishes come true.
So what did you think? What did you think of these examples of Quicksilver being the best version of himself outside of the comics and cartoons? Which of these moments was your personal favorite of the bunch? Do you think that Quicksilver should come back in some various ways in live-action films or a TV series to finish what these guys started? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.